Hey, what's up everybody? This is Raptor Dad Gaming, and in this video I just want to go over some Mariana settings for the Oculus Quest 2. So let's get it started. It was a nice surprise drop by Eagle Dynamics last Thursday, and boy is it a huge hog on the system. So hopefully this will help you out optimizing it and at least giving the baseline for you. So first and foremost, if you hadn't seen my last video, Oculus Trade Tool, I'll drop that link in the description below, but make sure you grab it. It really helps in making the game a lot smoother. So I did drop my encoding down to 3650 just because I need a little bit more headspace. So that's one thing that we had to change. From there, we go into the actual Oculus system itself, and I did drop my hertz down to 72 just because, again, that's what I had to do for my system. And when I say optimized, I'm looking for at least 20 frames, but I want to hover for the vast majority of the time into mid to low 30s, and that's what you'll get with these settings. There are parts on the island where you'll hang about 25, maybe 22 at the lowest, but for the vast majority of the time, if you're going to be high altitude flying, you're going to be in about 30 frames per second. So that's it for the Oculus settings. Let's go into the actual game settings. Did have to make a lot of changes here, dropped a lot of things to medium and low. Again, pixel density is huge when it comes to VR settings. So I did have to drop it down from my standard 0.8 down to 0.7, which gave me a little bit more consistent frame rates, as well as that 30-35 range for most flight that we like to get to. So that's what you see me doing here, and then I'll go back to the actual settings. You can see those. Dropped a couple things as far as the smoke density and things like that, as well as the preload range. For this test, I decided to go into through the infernal Marianas Islands, just because there's a lot of things going on the map. If you fly, or on the server rather, if you fly in a different one, it'll be even better for you because you'll get more frames. But there's a lot of things going on. You can see once I select it, there's a lot of people in the room. So I think it's like 34 some odd people. And so it's just a perfect server to test everything out. So from here, let's get into some gameplay. Alright, so these next two clips are just me flying around the island. Again, we stay nice and low just to try and get a maximum draw on the system. So we fly over the densely populated areas, we fly over the base and a couple other things, as well as doing some formation flying low altitude, just because that also seems to put an additional draw on the system in the second segment. I'm going to let these continue to play just so you can see how the game looks around the island, around at this altitude. At the lowest point, we hit about 18 frames, and that was literally for about a split second. After that, we bounce between 28 to 35 frames. More often than not, seeing about 30 frames. In certain parts of the densely populated areas, we see about 27 being the average. So very playable. It's a phenomenal map. Really give my hats off to Eagle Dynamics for giving us such a phenomenal map for free. And it takes a little bit of effort, but it's worth it to fly around this beautiful map. So again, shout out to Eagle Dynamics for that. That's gonna do it for this video. If you found this to be helpful, or you just appreciate the flying, consider giving a like and subscribe. I will definitely keep the content flowing. Raptor Dad Gaming out. Thanks for watching.